Back the first time.
Throwing back.
It was hard to see.
But on the audit, I promise you, I'll be able to tell you something tomorrow afternoon before we do anything else. Because
Don't give him any more money.
Well, he said he paid a penalty.
he's paid.
Oh, he paid off?
Yeah. That's a mistake.
Well, next year hire me for the auditor. I want my money and then I'm gonna go.
You still got, you ain't got a gallbladder.
Might as well.
No, I ain't got a gallbladder.
Like I said, I didn't want to hire the guy back anyway.
Well, he did good last time. I'm
did.
really surprised.
He did. He's done good this time. From the summary that he gave us and his newsletter, everything's kosher. I mean, it's no outrageous. He's still probably got us for non-segregated duties, which means they always get us for that. It means that one person is doing someone else's job, you know.
I've seen that in every audit, even in Harlan's, every
one of them.
They all say that when you see them published in the paper.
But that's probably the only thing I noticed in his summary there.
Well, I noticed in his packet we got all his fines and everything. And as far as the water is concerned, I think we need to get a lock on it. I think we need to know how many meters we've got. I think we need to know how many meters are being read, how many meters are cut off, how many are pulled, versus how much water is coming out of the system, versus how much we're billing. I mean, we've got to get that stuff straight. I want to know how many meters we've got and how many they're actually reading.
Kelly's got that information.
Well, I mean, the council needs to see it. We need to see how many's cut off, how many people are just flat dab not paying at all. But we need to know how many meters we've got versus how many they're reading, how many are active, and how many's cut off. Versus how much water's being produced and how much money we're making off of how much we're billing for.
Well,
we've got to get a lock on this water system. Now I'm telling you.
Benefit any from the people that have got big water bills if they keep their present one up to date, if they can pay on their back and earn their water back.
But we could make payment plans for those people.
Because people don't care. Now, I know several, if their water's cut off, they couldn't care less. They just get them a rain barrel and go on.
I mean, really.
That's what burns me up.
Can you sit there and tell me how many meters are actually getting free water running through them because we're failing to read them because somebody thinks that one's been turned off or that one's been pulled? No, we can't do it.
We only have.
You're going to have to get a lock on it.
We only have 2 people that read the meters, and we don't have. What the state has suggested to us is that we hire a professional, and this is in that letter that you've got right there, that we hire a professional engineering firm to come in here and conduct a complete analysis of what we are supposed to be doing in collecting our monies, and that's in that part right there. I think they gave us until, they say something about when funding's available within 3 months. You're to hire an engineering firm to come in here and to tell us how we are to collect all of the money from our water and sewage accounts. And then also, they wanted us to analyze our rates that we're charging now. The water rates are adequate. The sewage rates are inadequate. They're suggesting that we take the increments off of the water billing thing. You know what? The first 2,000 gallons, and then the first 2,000 gallons is the minimum rate. The next on our account, the way it is now, the next 1,000 gallons costs us $3.15, and then the next 1,000 costs $2 and something. It keeps going down and down. They suggest that we keep the minimum rate as it is and drop the increments off everything except the $3.15 a gallon. So the first 2,000 gallons will cost whatever it is right now, $26, okay? Then the next 1,000 gallons is $3.15. And then the next 3 gallons is $3.15. And then the next gallon, from that point on, there is no more lower increment. And then to raise our sewage bill, the income on our sewage, use the same percentage and apply it to the new rates. And that will increase the sewage up to about, instead of, I think it'll raise it to about $40 a month.
We got about the highest
No, we don't.
water and sewage.
No, we don't. We got the lowest water.
It is the highest. I've been in about 3 areas and
Yeah.
I've not ever saw it
I've got
this
the-
high.
I've got this, I got a complete survey of all the cities in this whole area. And Cumberland is one of the lowest rated right now in water and sewage of all. of
Well,
them.
all that you told me did not answer my question. My question was, is there any reason why we can't get a total of the amount of meters we
I
have?
said Kelly's got it right back here.
Well,
You can- if
we
that's
need to
what
sit
you-
at the next council meeting. We need to see how many meters we've got
It'll be
versus
in
how
your-
many's been
We'll
reading,
have it in your tray tomorrow, okay? All
Okay.
she's got to do is print it out.
and how many's cut off, and
Give us
how many's
about 2
inactive.
o'clock tomorrow and it'll be over there. okay?
All right,
We
because,
can-
I mean, and like I said, you need to know how much you're billing according to versus how much you're producing each
We can
day.
do that. We've done that too.
I mean,
We can do that. We're wasting.
because now I'm hearing about some of these people getting water that's not paying for it. I'll be honest
You
with you.
tell me somebody that is.
So,
I need to know.
I just need to know about this. I think all the city council does. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm saying,
That makes my day if I can find somebody.
I'm saying that makes,
And it really does. I mean, it just.
What those big people just don't.
we need to buckle down on that.
You know, they beat you.
Well, everything's gone smooth and everything, and you want to put everything behind you. So, I want to know who stuck this in our box. We're going to put this behind us tonight. Who
That's
put
just
this in the box?
information.
No, I want to know who put it in my
was
box.
given to me and I thought you should read it.
Who gave it to
You
you?
throw it away.
Whoever it is didn't have the nerve to sign it.
What is it?
I don't know who wrote it.
You don't know who wrote
I
it.
liked it.
Do you, I guess you did.
That's.
They did not have the nerve to sign it. You put this in all council members. This is
Throw it away if you
nothing.
don't want to read it.
This is nothing but propaganda and trash.
That's information.
No, it's not information. It has nothing to do with city
What is
business.
it? Do I have it?
Shouldn't have
I'm
city
sorry.
workers.
Robin,
or
did you
equipment
make
breaking up,
copies of
stuff
this
like
and
that.
stick it in the box for anybody?
Not to put it in all boxes.
Did you make the copies?
Yes.
All right.
Cost me
It come-
$4.70.
all right.
You want to see the invoice? for
Read
it?
it.
But you
See
said
what
you
it
All right, who gave it to you, Mayor?
I wouldn't tell you that, Miss Ellie, because I just put it in there.
You had no business putting some, I want the press to get a hold of this, what council is having to put up with in their boxes.
I don't have it written down.
This has nothing to do with city business,
I'd love to.
and I am irate over it.
I'd love to see how the press.
I mean, whoever
I'm getting all
wrote
riled
this.
up, but I don't even know why.
Whoever wrote this did not have the nerve to sign it.
They did a good job.
No, they did not. Do you want me to sit here and tell you some of the things that's not right? First of all, they have accused the clerks of being crooks in here. They have called, I'm telling you, I'm irate over this because nobody has the nerve to admit it, and nobody had the, I mean, it was stuck in our boxes, and we're supposed to be public officials, and this is stuck in our boxes. Yes, I'm upset.
Is that all you want to say?
No, I just think that this should be put behind us. Now, why are you pushing this on us when it mentions Charles Raleigh and his brothers in here too? Has nothing to do with politics whatsoever. Nothing to do with government. And you sit there and expect us, you tell us, that you want to put everything behind, but yet this trash is in our box, and I am upset right now. After I read that, I got irate, I'll be honest with you. That you took, Robin made copies, all right? You took company time to copy this trash and stick it in our box. You paid somebody, citizens' money, for us to get that trash in our box.
No name.
Yes, I'm irate. Now,
Everything.
and nobody has any nerve to speak up and say who wrote that trash.
First time I've seen
I don't know who wrote it, but anyway.
Well, somebody gave it to you. Admit who gave it to you.
It's in my mailbox.
In your mailbox. Over there?
No, it's at the house, at home.
Somebody just stuck it in your mailbox? No return address or anything?
You bring it, stick it in
Oh my
my
goodness, they don't do me like
Well, I
that.
thought it was good information, but you can throw it away if you don't want to read
No,
it.
I want the press to get a hold of what the mayor is sticking in our boxes.
Give it to the press.
You want here? You want to call? You want to see what the mayor's sticking in our boxes? Yes, I'm irate because it has nothing to do with city business. You sit here and tell us that you want us to get back and get along, and then we get that kind of garbage in our box by the mayor.
Harlan Daly, there's your copy.
Yes, I'm upset. Now, that's all I've got to say. I didn't expect to get that upset. I prayed about it before I come, but I just think, Mayor, it's not funny.
I'm not mad at you.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Yes, you
Mr.
are.
Boyer, do you have anything?
I don't have a thing.
You're sitting there laughing at me because you got exactly
No,
what
but
you
I agree
wanted.
with her.
Miss Gillum, I know it's your first meeting, but
A bunch of garbage in our box by a mayor.
With honest members that are in this city that elected us. And that we can
Yes,
look
I'm
ourselves
offended.
in the mirror and not turn sideways to wash our face. Now, I haven't read this, so I don't have any idea what. Haven't read, because Johnny reads everything to me. But I don't have anything to say.
Benny, did you have anything?
I'll go home and read it.
You better read it because it talks trash about this council. And he liked it.
Charles, do you have anything?
I'll read the whole
Yeah,
storm.
we've had garbage that was put in our box. It shouldn't have
I
never been
admire
there,
you for
but
having
it
the
concerns
guts
with
to
this
stand
ethics
there.
board that
Everything's fine, then you get
the mayor
trash like
filed
that
an
in your
ethics
box.
violation complaint against me, and I did get the results back and it was unanimous and dismissed for the second time. So, hopefully that'll put it to
I'll go home and
rest.
get my magnifying glass. I've got one
And,
of those over a whole sheet of paper. I can read.
If it doesn't, we'll take it to the next step, I guess. As far as anything else after what all we discussed tonight, people don't want to own up to putting that type of trash in boxes. I don't have anything. My case has been settled already.
David, do you have anything?
Well, I came in City Hall a few days ago, and there was a gentleman in here that wanted me to bring up lighting on the Phillips Avenue Bridge. There used to be lighting up there before they replaced the bridge, and it's never been reinstalled. So I don't know if that falls back to KU, the city, or the Army Corps, but that's something that needs to be looked into, because he said traffic's unable to see citizens who are walking and so forth. The mayor already mentioned the Blair Street Bridge, and as I'm sure everyone who's here is aware, that's the street that I actually live on. And there's been a detour put in place, but the detour is not adequate. When there's several vehicles that are coming through there, you have people who park in the street on all the streets that we're trying to get through, as well as on the sidewalk, which is against city ordinance.
Wayne, pick up on this, will you? Okay, repeat that.
On Martin Avenue, there's vehicles that park as you're trying to come off that bridge, and it's hard to get off the bridge anyway for anybody, not only the people who are having to detour that way. They're parked on the sidewalks. Up on Bank Street, there's people who park on the sidewalks. And just like today, there was an instance I was coming up the alleyway beside a Barbara Banyas and Owens's, and there was a vehicle who just kept coming down through there who had more than enough room to back up, because I started up the street first and I had to back up and end up in the ditch that needs to be cleaned out. That's on city property. That's not been cleaned out. It's got a tree in it. The road over there is awful, and we're talking about repairing a road that I don't even think's used very much. That's been filled in with gravel. I mean, the streets over there's not been blacktopped since I was born, probably. The bridge that's in question, the Blair Street Bridge, was last blacktopped when Sarah Augusta was mayor in 1998. And the previous mayor was aware of the condition of the bridge and did nothing to help the bridge. I can say that Carl has at least came over and looked at it and contacted the Army Corps to try to get something done. Another issue, that the employee insurance. I know by this time last year we'd already discussed insurance. Is that not something we discuss every year? Or?
It's not time.
We discussed it
There's
in
no
February
change.
last year.
Yeah, it's not time. Change it. Did you read that?
I thought you was talking about
I know we had talked about looking at some other companies and so forth.
I don't care. I don't want it in my box.
To give them a little better
That's
benefits.
public. The mayor should not be sticking that in the box. I don't care about Playhouse. That's trash.
No, and then
My main concern is just the fact the streets in the whole city need repaired. I don't know if we could maybe contact Mr. Kennedy to see if he can help through the county. What, but this, I mean, citizens complain all the time about the streets, and I'm sure Mr. Raleigh and Miss Gillen have sit here on the council before when we had issues with blacktopping. And, you know, I know that roadway up there may be 2 or 3 people that use it, but I think taking the blacktopping money to repair that versus repairing streets that are used every day by probably more citizens, I think we should think about that a little bit more before we
Stick my glass
I think we should eliminate that road.
But right now, there's no other way to detour for that bridge that's unsafe to cross. That's
No, no.
I'm not talking about
I
that.
was talking about this
That,
one
that
over
road
here.
up there. I mean, I understand the detour for the bridge. It's just,
Save the money for the more important roads like we're talking about. Cause that old road over there.
I'll just come in now for
I think
just
it's hardly
that
ever
time.
used. It's so steep. And it's falling off. It's the best
They
is to
renew
have
it not every year.
it, not use it and then eventually have it
just
closed up, you know, graded down to
Think
where it was
about
originally
here
at.
sometimes, sister.
But we do need, those streets over there where he's talking about,
Yeah, that's. well,
they're
that was a-
horrible.
That Fairview is it's a top of the priority for blacktopping. I was gonna, all the way down Shepherd Street, Martin Street, Flower
Martin
Street,
Street.
and all of them.
And the ditches do need to be cleaned really good. I mean, they're stopped, something's got them stopped up to where the water sits about a foot high in the road when it rains, and it takes weeks, if not
The way
a
the
month to
road,
get rid of it.
it's the way the road's made.
I know, but we're talking about fixing the road.
We get this tonight.
I'm finished.
And I hope we do get the fixing.
There's one thing I wanted to, I forgot to mention, is the Planning and Zoning Commission now consists of the Code Enforcement Board and the Property Review Committee. We have 6 members on the Planning and Zoning Commission, and 3 of them are also filling in on the Property Review Board and the Code Enforcement Board, which would be the ones involved with blacktopping and things of that, public meeting.
Who's on the planning and zoning?
So we got, let's see, you got John Dixon, Jack Creech, Ron Jarvis, R.D. Browning,
Oh, R.B. Brown, I even
He's not being for me.
Jody Klug,
Jody.
and Frank Creech.
Oh, yeah, he's a good old
And on the
boy.
property review,
Ain't no
let's
demand
see,
for good
is
old boys.
John Dixon. His property review is John Dixon, Jack Creech, and Ron Jarvis.
If they can serve on both boards.
That they can serve on. And then on the Code Enforcement Board is Frank Creech, Jody Klug, and I see, what's the other fellow? Let's see, Artie.
Cleon
R.D.
Cornett.
R.D. Brown. No,
Cleon
Tourism.
Cornett.
tourism. He went on that. Who's the 6th man? There's 6 people up top. All six.
Okay, Frank Creech, Jody Blue, R.B. John, Jack Creech, and John.
Okay,
So we
who's
got Frank Creech on the code enforcement and Jody and
Disney man still on.
R.D. Browning is the 3rd man on our code enforcement board. Now, those people have got the authority to not only determine what property is going to have to be repaired, they can actually assist penalties when it's not repaired. It's just like a circuit court. Isn't that right, Mr. Bug? They have the power and authority to make the decision.
To assess, can assess a penalty, fine. But they have to work through the police department to serve that.
They can't just take it upon themselves.
Yeah, they don't have that kind of authority, they have to work through the police department.
After the citation is issued to them for whatever the violation is, the citation is issued by the police.
I know David Disney had been on one of those boards, and he put a thing in the paper saying he never was and never has been affiliated with any of those
David
boards.
was sworn in on the code enforcement board, but he didn't participate.
He had a letter to the editor in the paper saying he never had or never would.
David, is that all you had?
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to mention too, if you ever get a chance, an opportunity, you should get on the computer and look at Cumberland's webpage. Mr. Dixon has set up for the city of Cumberland. And would you give them that link?
Who gave, did the council, I don't remember the council voting on that.
Well,
Put
Oh.
them on website.
I don't remember the council voting on having a website. We're representing the city.
And it's just posted by the city of Cumberland.
well, I told him to go ahead. If he-
Well,
if
I
he'd
mean,
like to-
council, you don't think council needs to vote on something like that?
You
We
think
all
we can?
represent the city.
Okay, I'll ask you to vote for it right now then. Would you, I told him to go ahead and do it, and I was going to ask you if there's any expenses involved that the city should pay him for doing it.
No,
But
I think we ought to be able to review it and see what, I don't make a decision what's gonna be on it.
Well,
I
So
think
we're
we ought to go
representing the
ahead and
city.
take a vote, and if
Smut that comes out of Harlan.
if everybody votes, if the majority rules, leave it up. If it's done, take it down.
If you object to it, I mean, that's your privilege, but I don't see any reason why we should hide from, what
I
we're
don't
doing
think
here.
we should either, but there are certain
Everything we
things
do
that should be
top
on
of the
one.
table, and not-
I mean, it should be
not
brought before the
concerned.
council if you're representing the city, Mayor.
If it represents the whole city,
Well,
council.
whatever you all.
I mean, one person can't take
Just
it
do
all
a
around.
just do a roll call. I mean,
Whatever the
let's vote
mayor
on it.
does, the council can disapprove, okay? I don't know, I've told you that several times.
Well, I disapprove of a
Anything-
website without council's
But not just
approval.
one council member, it's gotta take the majority of the
Okay,
council.
take a vote.
because That's what they were sitting here for. So anything that I do, you can disapprove it, and it won't make me mad. So disapprove anything that I've done, and I'll get it, I'll change my mind.
I make a motion, we do away with the website until council gets the opportunity to review it.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to do away with the website.
Until council gets an opportunity to vote on it and
Do we
say
have a
what's gonna be
second
on
to
it.
that motion?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Have a roll call vote.
Okay.
Did you say until you could review it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think we oughta-
objecting to a website, I'm objecting to doing it without council's approval, what should be on it.
I think if there's a section on this, the comment section should be taken off, because it's gonna be like this, what's that thing that you,
Widespread
Harlan County
gossip.
chat line
That
thing?
the website
We
is
don't
nothing
need,
like that.
We don't need a comment
No,
section.
it's monitored.
This
It's monitored.
it's nothing. It's
It
informative.
would be like that old smut out of Harlan.
Advertisement of the city is all we need.
It's like-
Whoever-
It looks just like any other city
Well, I
website.
think we should go ahead and take a vote and discuss on it later.
We've already
Read it.
made that.
Because I already motioned and
Like Harlan
everything.
County chat line.
That's not what it is,
We have a motion on
Yvonne.
the floor in a second. All, have a roll call vote.
Let me make sure I got the motion was to do away with the web page.
Until
City
the
of
council.
Until council
To
approval
further-
and council plan what's gonna be on
Information is
it.
given
It's
to
a good
the
idea.
council and it's agreement from the council. Then that is the council. I mean, it may be as
It's
honest as the day.
Yeah.
I personally have seen it. It's very informative. It's comparable to any other city. There's no there's nothing but positive and good on it. There's no comments. All comments are not put on there without approval, and it's all pertaining to the city. And to take that down is not only an insult to the webmaster, which is David Dixon, but I just think it's silly to do that. So I vote to leave it up.
Vote no.
Bowyers?
Well, we are just 1/7 of this pie of council. And I think that what one of us is responsible for on that website, then we all should be. And I just think it should be reviewed and, let the council see if we want to jump in or jump off. So yes,
Motion again.
right for the time being, and no insult to David, because I'm sure he's done it.
You want them to end the website.
Oh, I want it to end,
So what's
yeah.
the vote?
Records.
Yes, to the whole council, because either Willie does or Willie don't. We need to know what Willie's gonna do.
I have a question.
Pardon me?
Mark Lewis done a website
No.
for the city. Was it approved by the council?
No, it was not.
Yeah, but it's just like If you looked at the Harlan website, Lexington, it's that. There's
It's,
no,
it's a good idea, but I think we should be able to say what's gonna be on it that represents the
We
city.
should all
And
know
council should
what
take a vote
page
on
we're
it.
on.
I'm not computer literate,
I
so
don't,
excuse
we're gonna be
me.
related to it if we're gonna be on it.
I heard
I
that.
I just think,
I'll have to get
I
on
think
there and
David
look
just
at it
needs to
now.
take it down. Let somebody else hire a professional to do it.
I got on it, it's a good website, it's nothing.
Did. Or they, or.
I vote to take it off for now.
Yeah, just review it.
So was Norman.
Yeah, I voted to take it off till we get a
Gil?
grip and get our head, just get our head wrapped around what's going on.
There's no comments, it can't become a gossip column.
Is there any
That's all.
comments
I have a
on it?
question
It'll be
for
that way.
council.
No, it's not, it's not,
Issues on
Is this about
Oh, you've been on it, Charles?
it. Yeah, I've seen it.
I didn't even know his one, but I've
Free
looked to it.
website, you can get it on.
Green.
No,
Take the curl in here.
oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know, I just think council ought to, I mean, you're representing the city.
When it's sensitive, the canceling should be y'all that cancel.
Well, you're representing the
Let's
city.
get everybody.
What about sure?
I got her. Three no.
We'll probably address this again in the next
Yeah.
meeting. We can do it as long as it just gives us time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went and voted for it.
Yeah. Oh, you already saw it. I didn't know.
3 noes, 4 yeses.
Good thing to
But we're just 7 pieces of a pie and we're
I think
gonna
maybe
get
that
thrown
just
the
take
whole
it down and
pie
hire a
and
webmaster
leave off behind.
and pay.
you know,
Well,
that-
it should have been, if it represents the city, it should have been brought
Well,
forward.
just
Just
like-
have it deleted and the city can hire somebody to design a
But
website.
we couldn't afford to hire anybody to do it. So-
I think if you're short on money, they don't need to pay nothing, you can keep your money.
And that's another thing about the signs. I ordered 14 signs today, at $22 a piece for confined space entry, you know. Normally I would give them to the city at no cost. And this cost $330, but, you know, I didn't want to disturb any of the council members or anything, so I just ordered them and we'll pay for them, $330.
You should get your money back.
No, it's not me.
No.
I don't get nothing out of it. I was giving the city the signs, at no cost, because but these are coming from another company. I just ordered them from another company, as its mayor. And,
Can I say something, Mayor?
okay, if that's all of the council comments, David, is that all you had?
I just want to say there would have been no cost involved with the website. I was using a website called WordPress.com, which was free. The comments could have been taken off to where nobody could post anything. The only thing that was posted was positives. There was one gentleman had posted a good job by the water department. Then I think somebody had posted the police department was doing a really good job. And you have to actually use a email address or a name to post it. You can't just post under a fictitious name. But I'll delete the web page, and then if the city wants one, they can vote to hire someone to do it professionally. I was just trying to do a service to the city because several people wanted to be able to see pictures and know who was on the boards and when meetings took place and so forth. So the mayor asked me to do it.
And the new ordinances that you publish here and the problems that we're having with collection of water and things, that would have been an excellent instrument to do that with.
Well, I'm sure, David, that your effort and intention is good.
Yes.
The only thing I'm saying, if we vote something as a council, then there's 7 pieces of this pie that we need to all of be involved in.
I gotta say, well, I was on it, it's a good side.
Well, when we
There's nothing
represent,
to it.
when we represent the city, one person just can't take it on their own
No,
to do
because no one piece of pie can
it. I mean,
throw it out for the whole pie. It's 7 pieces, and that's what we need to do.
I just have to clarify, the city council is supposed to make laws and you enforce them, right?
That's exactly right.
So how does a website have anything to do with the law?
But it ain't no different than you.
That's right,
Really
David.
don't, you can put anything on that
Call
website.
them, say,
that you want
"Bring it to the
to.
council
You know,
without
it could be about the
having
city
to
of Cumberland, or you could make one for New York City if you wanted to, and nobody could object to it. The only thing is, the information you put on it, when you put it on pertaining to the city, has to be as accurate as possible. But there is no law to prevent you, that's public speech.
you can't say that you're having one for the city of Cumberland though without the approval of city of Cumberland. I mean, you can get on there and say,
He can
I'm
say-
putting this
he can
on
say
about
posted
Cumberland.
by David C. Dixon, and it's actually.
But you can't get on there and make an official website.
Enterprise, it's got its postscript on the bottom of it. It says exactly what that paper does and why it does it. And, but I think David did a good job with that.
He probably did. That's not what I'm
It was
saying.
a nice site.
I'm sure his effort.
That's not what I'm saying. I did not say that. I said council didn't approve it. There's too many things getting done.
Could you
Council
have
doesn't
not
approve.
reviewed it before you voted to take it down?
No, I
He's
thought-
put a lot of work in it, you know.
You take it down, it's going to take just that much time to put it back up.
Yeah.
So I'd hire somebody.
No, I wouldn't, can't afford to hire anybody, not that amount of money. So,
Well, the tourism has a website already too. They put a lot of stuff on there.
yeah, but it doesn't.
That's not the city.
Let's get into
Is that all you have, David?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll open the floor to public comments. Buster, you've been what?
In 1941, the Kentucky State Police brought me in here when I was 12 years old. And the chief of police and the council said I could drive a car with no driver's license for 4 years. The reason why, the week before that, Pearl Harbor was bombed, and I wore a uniform, and the city of Cumberland handed me a check for 49 years. And I come to beg you tonight is to let me use this lot. You said last council meeting that I could, and the mayor come up there and said I couldn't, so I don't know what to do. But I was ready, had everything ready to go to drain this lot. I went to the Corps of Engineers, and they said that they was not going to do no concrete work at all, but they was going to straighten the lot up a little bit. But I will put a drain in here and cut the grass and keep it all mowed real pretty and put a waterfalls on it and make it look beautiful. If you'll just let me use it. And I think that I've worked
Well,
hard
then
for the
what's
city
our purpose for changing?
to make it pretty.
No, I mean,
I know you're, because we told you
We
we
said go
could do
ahead.
it.
yeah, we already,
And we
council
give our
already
word.
voted
I
for
was
you to
ready
do
to
it.
go,
But I
but the
mean,
mayor
what
come
was
up there and
the
told me not to do
purpose
it.
of us changing
So now
that
what I
you
do?
could?
No, Mayor, Buster, I came up there, Wayne was with me, and Dale Hawkins was with, they came up there at the same time. You were tearing up that piece of concrete. They said, two of your neighbors came down here and got me, said he's up there destroying that driveway going across the road there. Buster,
No,
and that's
it's all
what we-
broke up. It's
you
all
get a
broke
copy
up, and I
from
want
me?
to take it out and plant grass.
No,
We'll
what I
have
was
one.
looking
I
at
did
was not
too.
broken up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he said the kids go over there and play, ride their bicycle, the neighbors, and then that's what I told you. I said, you can't bust that up. I said, that was the problem.
Would you let me have the lot and keep it like I have? You all passed on it 2 years ago. I've been keeping the grass cut and look real pretty. I'll put a waterfalls on that, and I'll keep the grass cut if you just let me use it. It cost me $400 a year to cut the grass.
Mr. Shepherd?
I thought it was
Kids
agreed
come
that
over
you
and
could do
play on
it,
that
Buster.
concrete slab.
No,
No.
absolutely not. I would be
Thanks.
responsible for it. Nobody on the lot.
Well, that's actually the Corps of Engineers' property.
It is, yes.
We can't deed any property.
No.
Yeah, no,
Nobody's deeding it.
You were on the
Give a
council before
word.
when they said he could
It was
use
your
that and
neighbors.
take care of it because
Give
it's
a
beside
word.
of
The
it.
word should be your
You
bond.
can't displease your neighbor. You know, when you got this group over here going this
Everybody
way and this group going this way,
Everybody does.
what are you supposed to do? The properties, Mr. Boggs, you'd have to help us on this. Because the neighbors came down here complaining and said they were breaking up that slab and that.
And they're not allowed to use
What it
it.
is that neighbor wanted to park a car over there, which he's been parking a car, and it looks bad on the lot. I'll fix it real pretty if you just not have no cars parked on the lot, and I'll put a beautiful waterfall.
We can't do it.
As long as you know.
After the last meeting, Mr. Shepherd, I contacted the Army Corps of Engineers out, and there's a different person who's handling it, and the person who used to be over property matters retired and went to FEMA. But I contacted the person in Nashville, and he was going to look up that actual deed. So the reason that I didn't have anything, he was going to look up, I think it was the Simpson property, is that the one?
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
what my
yes,
recollection was. It was Simpson property. I gave him the names of the people, and I told him that, you know, the city does not have the deed for that, and he was going to research that and get back with me. I don't have it, but I had asked him for the information about it. So that's where I was. I was going to try to put together a lease for you to use it, but I have to be able to identify what the specific piece of property is. I mean, you know where it is, and you could take me to it, and we could look at it, but I needed the legal description. And And after the Corps took part of the property, it changes the description, and that only they have it. And they've never sent it to you, have they? We don't have it, and I've requested it, and he assured me that, you know, he would take care of it, but that's been, what, 3 weeks?
The, one of the thing of it is, if kids come out there to play on it, what one of them falls down, who's responsible? When I had already come to the council and said, I'll take care of it.
Well, it's not your
No,
property.
you would never be
No.
responsible.
You
wouldn't be liable.
You wouldn't be responsible, and the
Well,
city
I don't
wouldn't
care
either,
if the
because
kids
don't
play
belong
on
to
it, as long as I
anybody.
get to keep the grass cut and make it look pretty.
And the
That's all
other
I want.
Well,
neighbors.
we give you our word, and I think that we need to keep our word.
Would you put it
And
to a
keep the
vote
honesty
tonight?
in
You
as far as the-
would
Do
not-
the whole
you
neighbor-
would
does
not
all the
own
neighbors
it.
have
Since
access
you
to
are
it?
not an owner, you wouldn't have any, you wouldn't have complete liability. You wouldn't have the liability that an owner
No.
would have. And at this point in time, you know, it's not exactly clear how it's owned. But the Corps plans on working with me on it, and they have no objection. I can share with the council that the Corps has no objection to someone mowing the grass, maintaining the property. But I think before you give any ability to build anything on it,
Not build nothing at all.
No, it's portable.
I understand, but
Portable
I'm
fan.
just saying for future use, not necessarily in my discussions with them. Your restrictions are going to be about future use of building or putting any kind of permanent structure or changing it. They're going to allow you to use it, but they're not going to allow you to change its use to make it useful. They want it to be vacant property.
I have a
start cleaning it up
question.
tomorrow if they give me permission.
Mr. Shepherd, I'm under the impression, and I was told by other residents of the area that they like to use that property too.
Yeah, to park a big car on it.
They like to park vehicles there when the weather's bad. I've been told that children like to play there and play ball there, but they're not allowed to. So, or they're discouraged from playing there. And to me, if other neighbors, other neighbors should be able to have access to that property too, because nobody owns it but the Army Corps of Engineers right now.
But the
And-
thing about it is, Carla, we gave our word.
Right.
It was
You know,
get-
and
it's
when
six
we
of them
back
said
down
I could do
on
it.
this,
It's been gave
then
2
the
years
I'm not
city will
saying-
come in here and
I've had it for 2
hit
years
our
and I've
heels
kept it in
and
good
back
shape.
down on
It was
something
gave
else.
2 years ago by the previous
only reason I came
council.
up there was to stop
And
you
gave
from
now.
From
destroying
tearing
that
up the
sound.
concrete.
That slab of concrete that they said
Nobody's
you were
allowed
out
to
there
have
breaking
access
up.
to it.
And that's all I asked, because they were complaining, and I thought they had a right to complain
Well,
too.
would the council put it to a vote tonight? Can I go up there and cut the grass and keep it clean, the sweep?
and not
And this
break
right
the-
here, I put a
I
water
guess
drain
the
in so
only
there'll be no water
problem-
on the street. I put one already in my
Yeah.
house.
Oh,
It drains
you've
the
got it
water into
looking
the line.
good.
And I'll
But the
do that
thing-
at my expense.
But you're gonna leave that
You're gonna leave
driveway
Concrete.
I'll
alone.
leave it alone.
Well, I don't see why we need to vote. We already voted on
He's already
that.
got the property.
You've already
That's
got
the
it,
reason I came
Buster.
up
Would
with
you put it to a vote?
But if we are asked to back
We already
down on
did.
one
But, Buster, it's-
situation, then
it's
we have to
yours.
back down
It's
on
yours,
another.
Buster.
We've already agreed.
We voted to do
let you use
it.
We just, from what I'm gathering, they don't want you to tear up the concrete.
They say those kids go over there and learn to ride a bicycle.
We voted
Yeah.
on him using the property, which was done 2 years ago.
What's in the minutes, because I don't think you need to vote on it.
No,
No,
that's
it
what I
doesn't
said.
need to be
It was-
voted
it-
on.
It was done 2 years ago also.
Oh, yeah, and he's kept it looking good. Buster's honest and forth.
I-
Does that mean that they can
That's
come
what
park
we
6
want
or
to
7
do.
cars on
Wallace,
it?
Wallace Shepherd came before the council wanting to lease property through Army
We can't
Corps.
lease.
Raleigh made a motion to enter into a contract lease with the mayor to keep the grass cut and no permanent building. Graham seconded the motion. All in favor, motion carried.
So it's already been voted on to allow you
Yeah.
to cut the grass.
We're just saying, don't tear up the slab and
Just
And keep
let the
the
kids
ditch
play.
line
If he
clean
gets happy
house.
at that concrete, just leave it there for
But
him to
That
get,
piece
stay
of concrete
happy,
that's
keep
broke
him
up, can I
happy.
take that piece out and put a drain under it? So the Corps of Engineers said they wasn't gonna do no more concrete work there.
Right.
But the water stands there.
On the
Yeah.
Now, I'm
sidewalk,
gonna throw in a quote from the Bible where it says to render to Caesar's what's Caesar's and to God what's God. Now, I keep throwing in, because you all didn't hear me say that.
now, children won't be restricted from that property,
So I
will
go
they?
ahead and start
They
working
will
on it?
still be able,
Buster's took care of that property
What
for
was
2
her
years.
question?
I'm not saying he
What was your
hasn't.
question, Carter?
Will children or other neighbors be restricted from that property since nobody really owns the property?
It's okay with me.
Okay.
They wanna put a duck on there, let them
But what if they
sit
come
there
and
quack,
walk on the
quack
pretty
on
grass
there.
that I fixed?
I'm just asking if the neighbors are going to be prevented from being able, because that was the complaint I got, that other people use that property or want to use it, and they're not allowed. And that's the only thing. And I mean, I don't have a problem with you cutting the grass or taking care of it, but
When you had that property for 2 years, the kids never did get out there and play ball or anything. Were you just cutting grass, did they? They, because they've got their own yard.
I'm just.
Well, let me put it this way. The Corps told me today they're gonna go back up there and reseed that lot and re-landscape it because it's real rough. They're gonna reseed it and landscape it. But
they're not gonna do nothing with this big water on the sidewalk, and I can do away with it.
they're gonna work on that too. They're gonna, because they.
Now, he told me they was not gonna do it. I went to the Corps of Engineers, and said they're not
When
gonna
did they
put
tell you
drain
that?
in
This
there.
Kathy White, she was up here today, and I told her about that, and she went up there and looked at it and said that it was too rough, and it had to reseed it and re-landscape it. And that was today.
Well, let me ask you this, they're not putting no basketball goals on there, would they?
No.
I don't think they should, no.
Well, that would be something permanent.
The only
No.
controversy anybody's throwing at you, Buster, is that slab of concrete. Now, I've not heard any gripes
I'll
from
go start working on it tomorrow.
Well, now the neighbors came down and said that you were tearing up the slab, but you're not going to tear up the slab, and children can have access to that
keep
slab.
your little
right
paws
beside
off
it.
that
It's a slab, but don't get on the grass.
Well, well, our kids, you know how they mind,
They'll
they
be
won't
on
get
the
on the
grass.
grass.
Well, they're definitely.
Especially if you say, don't get on my grass.
You
Right.
hang a sign there.
They can't get in there.
We're wide open.
I think they can put a goal in there. It's permanent.
The concrete's the only thing
They got
anybody's
goals on their
griping
yard
about.
down through there. They got them all on the
But I mean,
street.
they're
Everybody's got
accepted.
their own basketball.
I'm just saying that nobody
Are
can
you
go
satisfied
in.
with the?
Yeah,
put
if
no
it's
permit
all,
on that
I can
property.
go ahead and start working on it.
Well, you know what, okay. as
Can
long
I
as
take
they're
that
right.
one slab of concrete out there where it's pooched up like that, somebody fall down on it and put a drain under there? I'll pay for it myself.
No, that's,
I would, the Corps lady looked at it today.
See what they do.
Ms. White looked at that today, and she said it needed work. Now, if the government's gonna come in there and reseed that, and make the grass greener and straighten it out, she said it wasn't level, didn't she?
It
They were
wasn't
gonna try to
level,
make
it's
it
rough,
more.
yeah.
But they're not gonna work on the concrete.
Well, I don't know.
Does that
You
mean
know,
they're
it's
gonna
their
come cover up
property,
this
they
grass
might
that he
decide
put
they
Well, if
want.
you
No,
see
he's
them
not
up
gonna
there,
put it
Buster,
yet.
just go
Okay.
up there and ask them what's going
Yeah,
on.
go out there and talk to them, Buster.
when they come up there.
But they
I've done talked
looked
to
in, they
them.
looked into it.
Yeah, but they're coming
today.
back when they come back.
Yeah.
And they looked into it today, and they think it needs some work. They agree with you. It's not as pretty as it could be.
It's okay tomorrow to start leveling it off, you don't take it pretty.
well,
I
They're
wouldn't
gonna
leave
do
it off, but they're
They're
coming
gonna come in to do
it.
it.
she said today she's calling the contractor, they're gonna put a handrail on that bridge for the sidewalk, and then they're gonna go over there and re-landscape that lot.
That's what she told me.
And correct it, and reseed it and re-landscape it.
Yep, they're not gonna do nothing on the sidewalk and this water stand there 2 inches deep. I went and talked to them.
Hopefully the rains will stop.
Said
Well, that was
this
today,
with the
now.
concrete work.
This is a new inspector
A
today.
new person, a new person.
You can
looked at
reason
it.
with the
person that
woman
looked at it
better,
today
so.
hadn't seen it before. This is her first time looking at it.
Kathy,
I'll start
why?
working tomorrow.
Is it Kathy? I thought she'd been up here looking at the bridge before.
She hadn't looked at this lot.
Not this one.
She hadn't looked in this lot as to what to do with it.
Oh, okay.
So,
She went over to Oscar Baird's to check its sewage line.
and she specifically looked at this lot today. And that's what I mean, she hadn't paid attention to it before with the way she paid attention to it today.
So we
Yeah.
called it.
She need to
And
say
she
it.
did say it needed some work, she agrees with Mr. Shepherd, it needs some work.
I'm reading it up.
Is that, okay? Let's go, Mr. Raleigh over here.
I just got one question. Have all the water bills been mailed out yet?
now next door to your
Right.
property. Who owns that property, the city or Corps?
My mom and dad got
I
theirs
told the
back.
city on that property.
They have been mailed out.
Lots here like that.
Oh, there's one right across the street from my house. I've been cutting the grass on here, and that's been tore down, big duplex.
Yeah,
I live over here at 209 Cumberland Avenue, and on a routine basis, the culvert on the other side of Cumberland Avenue runs through my building and then onto Main Street. I'd just like to ask the city if they have any plans on fixing that, or what's the status on that issue?
Well, that's that grant that's supposed to begin in March. Our engineering firm, Bill Miller and Associates there, and they're supposed to start work on it to reroute that water, make a new ditch line all the way up to the river. And like everything else,
I'd be calling Leo and asking him myself.
You know, I would be
Because
very
Leo,
angry if
Leo
that's
is
my property.
slow.
I would be very angry. And the grant was given $80,000 grant when I was on council. Now, I would like to know where the money went to the county. I'd have Leo Miller here show me some receipts for that, because that is ridiculous.
I mean, because this is not a minor water
It's
issue.
flooding your basement.
It's going through one side of the basement and out the other.
Uh-huh.
And it's
That's
also
a
blocking
mess.
the state highway.
Should
Main
never have
Street
been gone.
is a state highway. So, I mean,
no, it's a city street.
is it a city street?
It needs to be dug up and a bigger culvert put in to carry that water, because there's a telephone pole right in the middle of the culvert hole. I don't know. Who was the genius that designed sticking a pole in the middle of the hole?
Joe Wayne Creek.
It's naturally gonna stop up.
Come right out of the building.
Well, you know, I hate to keep saying this, but all I can do is call people on the telephone. I write them nasty letters and things like that to tell them, you know, do your job, do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
Is that, did you say the city street though?
Cumberland Avenue is.
Cumberland Avenue.
On back
Cumberland
side.
Then it
Avenue,
goes
Main
across the
Street.
state.
Yeah.
You know, it goes across his private
What's the
property.
house
there.
now?
Part of it.
Actually, it goes across 2 streets.
Leo Miller probably up here the next meeting morning. We'll ask him where that money went to. He was, I remember. He was
They got the
approved.
money.
It really needs to be
They
fixed,
just-
so it's been let go.
The bids
I
have
figured
been
it would've
let.
done been
Yeah.
done.
And the bids have been let out. The 1st of March was the date that they're supposed to start it.
Yeah.
The first day of March is what I was told.
Water has to be eroding underneath the road there, and eventually that road's gonna,
There's probably nothing under, there's probably a
Okay.
So,
tunnel
is
under
there
that
anybody I
road.
can get in contact with?
Call Leo
I'd
Miller.
call Leo Miller and talk to
Call
him.
Miller.
Miller.
Leo Miller.
He's
In
in-
Harlan.
Call me tomorrow and I'll give you a phone
Engineer.
number.
he's in the
Miller
phone book.
Engineering.
Yeah.
Leo.
He's in the phone book. 4300.
4,300.
Everybody call him.
Just call him and ask him. You have to get
Paul's the
after
one
him.
that's over it. Leo's the dad.
The old Leo, and young Leo, and all the little Leos.
Anyone else have any comments?
I do.
Yes.
So this was distributed by the city?
No.
Who did it? Who put it in the boxes?
It was in the boxes over there.
The mayor brought it
put
in.
it in the box.
I mean, who made the copies again and put it in the
The
boxes?
city
For
did.
the officials?
I did.
Okay,
He had a receipt for it.
okay. I was looking through here, and I don't know if you all looked through this real close.
They'll take it home with them. and
That's
read
the
it.
reason I
told
was
them
so
to read
irate.
it.
I looked at it.
He doesn't have that money.
Somebody doesn't know what the word myth means, because that's an untruth. And I'll tell y'all something. I've done this for 14 years. Yvonne knows that I'm not easy on elected officials. It's our right, and we should scrutinize our officials.
Yeah, that's right.
I stand by everything that I have ever written.
Did you read that trash come through the
Everything.
spectator?
Every
No,
word of
that
it.
wasn't it.
And I won't back down from it. You might not like the adjectives, you might not like the wording, but I stand by it.
Okay. Anybody else out there got anything? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye.